Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Elda. Right now, I'm going to explain and presentate about REA diagram. My name is Vincent Klaus, and here my student number. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so REA data model is a data model used to design AIS databases. It contains information about three fundamental types of entities. REA stands for resources, events, and agents. Resources is the things that have economic value to the organization, like inventory, cash. Events is various business activities that management wants to collect information on. Agents is the people and organizations that participate in events like employees, customers, or vendors to the organizations. Okay, this is the simple REA diagrams, and it's general. And right now I'm going to identify which one is resources or events or agents. So this inventory and cash accounts, they are resources. Sales and receive cash, they are events. And the last one, employee, customer, employee, they are agents. Okay, now about the structuring relationships of the basic REA template. So the REA data model prescribes a basic pattern for how the three types of entities like resources, events, and agents should relate to one another. There are three rules. Now I'm going to tell you each of them. Rule number one, each event is linked to at least one resource that it affects, like this picture. Event A connected to one resources, event B connected to one resources. Rule number two, each event is linked to at least one other event. So this event A is connected to event B. This one is related and linked. Rule number three, the last one, each event is linked to at least two agents. Like this event A has two agents, agent A and agent B. Event B has two agents, agent A and agent C. Okay, now about the basic REA template. It is connected to the business process cycle. In the previous video, I already explained you about business process cycles. There are 5 cycles. As I told you, there are revenue, expenditure, payroll, financing, and production. Now I'm going to tell you about the connection and relation to REA data model of diagram. So the first one, revenue cycle. The revenue cycle involves interactions with your customers. For example, you sell goods or service and get cash. So you give inventory to customer buy it, and you get cash from the payment for the customers. So you give inventory and get cash from the customers. Next one, expenditure cycle. The expenditure cycle involves interactions with your suppliers. So, for example, you buy goods or services and then you pay cash. So you give cash and then you get the inventory, like equipment, tools, goods, or service. Next one, payroll or human resources. The human resources cycle involves interactions with your employees. Employees are hired, trained, paid, evaluated, promoted, and terminated. So you give cash to the employee, like salaries or wages, every single month, and you get employee time. Next one is financing cycle. The financing cycle involves interactions with investors and creditors. So you raise capital through, let's say, stock or debt, and then you repay the capital, and then you pay a return on it, like interest or dividends. So you give cash and you get cash. Last one, production cycle. In the production cycle, like raw materials, labor and machinery and equipment or employee time, they are transformed into finished goods. Then you get inventory. That's all. Now, about developing an REA diagram. What is the purpose of it? It is to design an REA diagram for an entire AIS. One would develop a model for each transaction cycle and then integrate the separate diagrams into an enterprise-wide model. So what I'm trying to say is, in this chapter, we only focus on the individual transaction cycles. So first one, we need to identify relevant events that typically activities in the revenue cycle that include for this one, take customer order, fill customer order, bill customer, and then collect payment. So for the take customer order, taking the customer order doesn't involve giving or taking a resource. It is, let's say, it is a commitment event. Fill customer order. Filling the order involves a reduction in the company's inventory. Say like it is a gift event. Bill customer. Billing customers involves the exchange of information with an external party, but doesn't affect resources. Collect payment. Collecting payment results in an increase in cash. It is a get event. So it's related to financial accounting or financial report. So when I'm going to tell you this fill customer order is connected to collect payment. So it is called give to get. Right. I'm going to explain you this. Fill customer order, often referred as sell, and then collect payment or collect cash, often referred to as cash receipt. So you give customer order, you fill the customer order desire with your service, you give the service and goods to the customer, and then you get cash from the customer because customer paid for the goods or service that you provide, and you collect payment or you collect cash of it. And for tech customer and bill customer, so are they be included in the model? Okay, let me explain this. Taking an order requires that we set resources aside. So that information should be included in our model. How about bill customer? Like printing and mailing invoices doesn't directly affect economic resources. It doesn't represent a commitment on the part of the company to a future exchange. It is also an information retrieval event and should not alter the contents of the database. So it doesn't need to be included in the model. Right now, we have to know the determine cardinalities of relationships by using the CrossFit notation. There are three symbols. For 0 is a circle, like this one, with my cursor. And then the symbol for 1 is a single stroke, like this. This vertical line here is a single stroke. And the symbol for many is the crossfoot. It's like these three lines. Okay. So basically there are four panels of each entity's relationship on REA diagram. This one is one-to-one, as you can see. For these entities, there are like single line here and a single line here. It is called one-to-one. And panel B, it is single and it's like three. It's like crossfoot. So it's a one to many. The opposite one to many, one become many and many become one. As you can see here, crossfoot is many, and this one is one. And then many to many is crossfoot to crossfoot over here. Okay, so cardinalities of relationship. So this picture is I took, for example, this is the real REA diagrams because each company has their own REA diagrams. Now I'm going to explain what is happening here. So typically there is a minimum and maximum cardinality for each entity that participating in a relationship. Let's say the minimum cardinality can be either 0 here with the cursor and 1. So the minimum cardinality is over here and here. the minimum cardinality symbol next to the customer over here is the symbol for one. It's a single stroke, right? So it's called one, which means that for every occurrence of a sale, there must be a minimum of one customer involved. How about this one? The minimum cardinality symbol next to the cell here is the symbol for zero, which means that for every customer in the database, there must be a minimum of 0 cells. This minimum of 0 allows the company to add a customer to its database before any sales have been made to that customer. Well, how about this symbol and this one? So this is called the maximum cardinality. Like it can be either one, this single stroke, or many, this cross foot. So this one, the maximum cardinality symbol next to the customer is the symbol for one, this single stroke here. It is different from here. It is a minimum, and this one is a maximum cardinality, which means that for every occurrence of a sale, there can be no more than one customer involved. Well, how about this crossfoot here over here? The maximum cardinality symbol next to the cell here is for many. As you can see, it's crossfoot, so it's many, right? Then, which means that for every customer in the database, there can be many sales involved. Obviously, a company can make multiple sales to an individual customer. Okay, so here the complete REA diagrams of one company's. I won't tell you the companies, but this is the example of one company's REA diagrams. Here, their inventory, cash. This one is resources, check customer, orders, sales, receive cash, events, employee, customer. They are agents. So it's a whole thing, and each of them has their own explanations, and it's so many. Okay, that's all for the explanation of REA diagrams in Business Process Fundamental. Thank you very much, Ms. Elda, for listening my presentation. Hope you understand my explanation and hope you have a great day. Thank you.